Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday night, it's 9 p.m. and we are back here again on
How to Ace Your Career.
So guys, as you all know, we keep coming here every Friday live at 9 p.m. to share something related to acing your career. And we specialize in mid-age people, people with 12 to 15 plus years of experience who come here, listen to what we have been sharing, and they have been coming back to us and saying how these live sessions have really created a difference in their career and their life. So thank you very much for all that warm response. And before we get into today's topic, let me introduce myself. I'm Newton. I'm a career and a life coach. And like I just mentioned, I specialize in mid-age senior professionals, where I help them when they're stuck in their career, they're going through career stagnation, they're not really very happy in their job, or they want to make a career transition. And
I'm Dheeraj, and I'm a life coach, a career coach, and a business coach. And both of us put together, we create a company called Ending Life Coaching.
So thank you very much for coming here, everyone. And as we go through the entire session, please keep responding with your comments, what is relevant for you, how these things that have been discussed are something which are useful, how are you taking this ahead. That response is what keeps us going every Friday. So tonight we are going to discuss on 5 things every mid professional should know when they are looking for a new job. So are you a mid-career professional and are you searching for a fresh job opportunity? If yes, then you're exactly on the right place.
Newton, can we do one thing? Can we today, let's talk about midlife. Okay, because it's a very talking term, midlife, and what to keep in mind when we are looking for a new job.
Well, sure, we should definitely talk about it. But since you're talking midlife, what is midlife?
So let me tell you, midlife is that phase between young adulthood and old age. It usually hits around when you are in your 40s, although it can vary a bit. And it's what is most beautiful, it's a very unique. It's very unique. Okay, so can you tell me what's unique about this stage?
So, when we start our career, we are all out there, we are passionate, we are delivering. The focus is on the career. Whatever comes your way, you're moving ahead. There is nothing that you think of other than progressing in your career. Why? Because there's no responsibility on your head. Firstly, you're single, and then probably you just have a life partner to take care. So wherever the spouse, today I wouldn't even say a husband, a wife or a husband, whoever has a better job opportunity, the couple decides to move locations, whether it is within the country, outside the country, people don't matter. So there is no challenge. But in midlife, there are all sorts of responsibilities. Raising teenage children, one of the most difficult phase as parents. And then by this time, parents have started getting old. So you need to take care of them, probably hospitalization, some illness, running and taking care of them from the doctor to at home to what they're going through, listening to them, keeping them happy. And of course, the marriage by then has become old. So managing those times, because initially there's a lot of juice, happiness, excitement. And as the marriage goes on from 1 to 10 to 15 years, that is where you start questioning things that you don't like about your life partner. Am I at the right place? Am I the right person for? And those kind of complications. If you see, most of the times, these questions start coming in the mid-age. And by then, your also health starts showing certain challenges. So, at times it can really feel a lot and you feel overwhelmed.
Absolutely. I can completely understand and imagine because I've been through that phase. Okay. But isn't it also a time when you might feel a bit stuck? Is it possible?
Yes, of course. Because you know what? Youth has just passed away. And though you want to stay there, it doesn't stay, right? Age moves on. And all of a sudden you start feeling that you're not reaching your full potential. There's so many times I hear this from my clients. ये तो मैं पहले इतने आसानी से कर लेता था. You know what? This was so easy for me. No, this is not how I would live. Oh, this I could digest. Oh, this I could do. This I could run. This is what I could live life like. Today, why is it all of a sudden I can't make it happen? It's not all of a sudden. It is the progression of your age. And plus, of course, like we just mentioned, various relationships and their commitments can become very overwhelming. So it really sounds tough. But what do you feel happens in the career at that time?
Okay, so career-wise, if you ask me, it's a mixed bag. Some folks want more from their career. Okay, they want more. They feel there's a lot more I need, but can't quite define what does that mean. Give me more. Ye chahiye, lekin what does that mean? That's a confusion there. Others, they definitely see better work-life balance where they can focus on their work. At the same time, they can give time to their family, friends, and society. They're looking out for them. While some aim to make a bigger impact in the workplace and also in the community. They want to reach at the CEO of a company. They want to become the director level in the company. So there's a larger impact they can play. And also, they feel that now I need to create something for the community. I need to impact the community. So in my work front, can I be in a position where my job is creating many more opportunities and I'm serving the community directly or indirectly? Then there are also those who simply want to break free from the job. They just don't want to work anymore. You know why? Because somehow after 15, 20 years of work life, it's not giving them that satisfaction, that juice, that joy anymore. So this is what generally by and large happens when you are in the career wise when it comes to mid-age.
So the common thread, if you just listen to all this, is that people want something more out of life at this stage. They are just not content with what they are doing or where they are. They are looking for something more. So it's of course more because there is a kind of experience and expertise that you gathered. You've been working for around 15, 20 years now. So you know what you want out of life. Or probably you at least know what you don't want out of life. Some people over the years find a place which is their sweet place and they're happy delivering in that company, in that role. But then all of a sudden, there's a concern. I'm not growing. So though I'm very happy here in my comfort zone, I know that I can do much more, but then fear stops me. There are so many times that we have clients like Dheeraj, you could just share, the wife was sharing the other day when you had the first call with the client that he can do much more.
Yeah, of course. The wife had only one thing, that this man has so much of potential. There's so much that he do, but he's not even utilizing 25% of what he is and what he can do and what he can achieve, because he's so content. He's just 43, 44, has a house in Mumbai, has a beautiful salary. But then she feels this guy can reach at least 10 times more, but he somehow reached that state of very content. He said, "Yaar, ab aur piche mat pado, bas ho gaya."
Where I also have a client of mine, so he's just taken up a new job, traveled to a location where the family is also wanting to shift. And it was his first day at job, where fortunately he's working in a company where the job, the department that he's reporting to, the department head introduced himself, took his background, and then gave him options that, you know, these are the verticals that we are looking after. These are the verticals that come under our department. Where would you like to be? And then one of the opportunity was given to him. It was a huge, one of the most prestigious project of that company. But the guy who's running that project gave him a fair picture. He said, though it's one of the most prestigious project, that's exactly why the reason there is so much pressure on everyone who's working for this project. So there'll be no timelines for you. You will have to work throughout the day, probably in the night, probably on the weekends. There'll always be chaos. You'll be running around. Now, I'm sure people out there who are listening to me, some of them will say, wow, that's the best place I want to be, because there's going to be so much visibility. People will notice my work. And what better in a new place that you can create a mark in the very first 90 days of your job. But you know what? This person comes from a mid-age where he's moved to a new location which is outside the country. His wife is going to join him, who's also going to work there. So it's a new location, new world that she's going to create because she's setting up a house. Two children who are going to go to school, which is again going to be a new environment. So what she needs is space and time from the husband so that he can help her in managing the household chores, taking care of the responsibility of the children, being there when the children need them because it's a new environment for them. So she was the first one. It was a joint call. Both three of us were discussing this. And though he was very passionately describing that, this is what is told and this can be done and this is how they said that they need me because of all the expertise that I have. But the first thing that the wife said that you can't take this up. You know why? Because we will need you at least for the first 6 months till we all don't settle down. We'll need much more time from you than you getting committed to a job, which is taking away literally almost 24 hours, 365 days, which is a thing because today we can also operate from home. There is a no cutoff line. So this is what happens in mid-age. You may be wanting something, but people around you are demanding something else from you. And that is where you need to take a different call, a different decision. In fact, both of us as life coaches, when we're coaching our clients, this is what we look at. We look at the client's complete picture. What is his family background? Who else are there in the family? How will his decision in his career impact all of them around? It's just not about his life anymore. And that is why it's so very important to look at a new job very differently than what you would have done in the first 10, 12 years of your life. So let's
do one thing. Let's discuss now the 5 crucial considerations before looking for a job, especially at this juncture of life, that is mid-age. So let's start those 5 crucial considerations. Number 1.
The first one is aligning yourself with long-term goals. So till probably the first 10, 12 years, you got a job. After you finished your degree, you took up that job. You didn't wait you just took whatever came first. Then as life demanded, you started getting more options. Wherever you got the best salary, you moved on. Probably that could be one of the most important driving factors, which we are choosing the jobs. But here at this stage, you are now getting clear on what is that you want to do. You have some long-term aspirations. Some people start deciding that they would want to touch the CXO level before they get retired. Some people would say, I would be the face of this particular field. Like there's one of the mentors whom I've interviewed. She's one of the top 10 women in the field of AI, right? She represents the country, the industry in terms of AI. So people would have that kind of aspirations. They've also understood what is their strength, and there is a current life stage that they're going through. So when you're choosing a job now, ensure that that job, the profile that it has, the role that it gives you is aligning with your long-term aspirations. If that is not happening, you might move to a new place, but you'll not be happy. So once you ensure this alignment, then that will set a foundation for a very fulfilling career move. So the first point, really work out what are your long-term goals, write them down, and then look for a job which is going to align you with your long-term aspirations.
So second is continuous learning. So what do you need to do? You need to keep evaluating what new skills and knowledge you aim to acquire and apply in your next role. Many a times we just don't want to learn. We somehow feel, bahut padhai kar liya, ab nahi karna hai. But believe me, now where you are, it is very, very crucial, because especially now in the age and era that we are, it's constantly changing. There's so many new things happening. So if you're not aware, okay, it's going to be difficult. If you're not going to have new skills, you will be redundant, you will be perished. And that's why you need to spend a lot of time developing new skills and knowledge. And you also need to ensure a job that challenges you, That's very important, because if it's an easy peasy job, you will stop growing, you'll start getting bored, and you'll end up into the bracket and the zone that you should never be, and that's a comfort zone. That's a crime to do that, because you will stop growing. So that's why it's extremely important that look out for a job that is challenging you in as much as possible in your personal as well as professional life, so that you will grow in the both aspects of life.
And in fact, that's where the confidence comes from. Like we just discussed, it's a time when youth is passing off. Now, this is a phase, if you really look at many people, the bikers traveling long distance, Leh Ladakh, all kind of these rough terrains. Why do they do it? Because they want to feel youthful at the heart. So they're challenging themselves by creating these adventures. So if you can go all out and do that, marathons, if you look at, especially in the city Pune, the marathon, if you just go and watch, most of them are people of this age. They are not youngsters who are running. Why? Because they want to feel youthful. Because we all know when we are challenged, that is the time that adrenaline rushes through your blood and you feel alive. So ensure that you are taking up a job which is challenging you. Then, of course, another very crucial factor is understanding the work culture, because you have defined yourself in a certain way, and this is where you can give your best. This is where probably your personality will be suppressed. That is why it's very important that when you're picking up a job, you're not only seeing whether the role is challenging, how is it aligned with your long-term aspirations, but you're also seeing how you will not only survive, but thrive in this work environment. And that is why the organizational culture significantly impacts your effectiveness in the new role. How will you be able to connect with peers in your network to gain insight into the work culture before pursuing a job? So I advise all my clients, when they get a job offer, or when even before that, when they get an interview call from a given organization, I ask them to reach out to their network, known people, to figure out what is the culture of the organization. Some people love to work under micromanagement, because then it's not about taking responsibility. They are given direction and they perform their best there. Some people love the freedom. They want that they're given an option that this is what you need to achieve. Now you go all out and do it. That's what you need to find out. What is the work culture in the organization that you will be joining? And of course, to stay updated on the industry trends, whether this industry is in a growth phase or decline phase. Because when you're taking this job, you're not wanting to move. You're not in your 20s that every 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you'll be shifting. When you're moving in that job, you want to stay there, perform, give your best. And that is why, to prove yourself, you need some time to create that impact. So definitely study the work culture of the organization.
Then, of course, after that, building professional network. Okay, this is the fourth point. You need to build professional network, which means you need to recognize that senior level positions are often filled through referrals. Invest time in building connection within companies you aspire to work for. So maybe find out the top 5 companies that you want to work for and start connecting with those people who are going to hire you, who are going to take your interview, who are going to take that call. Start connecting to them. So, dedicate a lot of time of your day and weekends to get connecting to people, meeting people, engaging with these people, because that's how they will be interested in referring you, because without referral, it's difficult to get those kind of positions where you people at mid-age after 15, 20 years are looking for. And that is very important, that how am I networking? Like Tony Robbins always says, today life is not only about working, it is about networking. And that's why it's important that you need to network.
Also, it's very, very important to understand what is your salary expectation. So decide beforehand that this is the salary I will work for. It's very important for you to choose this before you accept an offer, because it's impossible to negotiate later. Like I said, you want to get into a job where you want to stay for some time, for a few years, so that you can chart a growth path. If you want to be in that organization, we all know that it's very difficult once you're in to get that huge rise. So why not negotiate the offer beforehand? But you can only negotiate when you're clear that I will only move from here when I get that kind of salary paid. So ensure that the offer aligns with your financial requirements, because like we said, mid-age is the time when the requirement financially are also at the peak. Children are moving to higher courses, so the fees is high. Parents are getting hospitalized, going in and out of with the doctor. Medical expenses are high. There is a lifestyle that we need to maintain. Every child today wants a room, so you want a bigger house. And when these commitments are high, they can only be fulfilled through one source, that is salary. And of course, you want to save for your retirement, so you don't want to compromise on your savings. And only when all of this is taken care, will you really want to commit to the work, to the organization who's providing for all of this. So instead of taking up the offer and feeling unhappy and then looking out for more salary and a job, why not do this beforehand, so that you can focus on delivering the results for the organization and staying committed for long term without any kind of regrets. All of us love to be paid what we deserve and what takes care of our loved ones, so that they don't mind when we spend a little more time at our work front, or sometimes compromising on their requirements and going out there and delivering even on weekends. So ensure that you're at least taking care of your financial requirements so that you can provide for, I wouldn't say barter, but yes, it definitely is. That when you compromise on a weekend and the next weekend you can take them out for a trip, a beautiful lunch, dinner, it makes them feel that yes, it was worth sending you to your workplace. So ensure that you get that kind of salary.
And of course, in the journey of a mid-career professional seeking a fresh job opportunity, these 5 considerations are serving as a valuable compass or guidepost. There are, of course, few more, but we thought these are 5 are the common that we have seen that is very, very important that you consider. Do not ignore them, because if they always say that follow the rules. If you will break the rules, which means if you will ignore any one of them, in the later run, you'll have accident and you'll be frustrated. So these are the guiding principles. They illuminate the path to a successful transition and an amazing, fulfilling career.
So I would like to know from each one of you who are listening to us right now, do you really have some long-term aspirations? Is that only in the mind as a thought, or have you really penned it down? If you haven't, then do that before searching for a new job. Whatever could be the reason to search for a new job. The highest reason is toxic work culture these days, where the boss is really pressurizing or creating an environment where you can't sustain. All of a sudden, there's an outsider bought and put upon your head, and you feel that all that I had dedicated my life for these last few years, today the organization is not recognizing that. Then the other reason could be you're really stagnating. Whatever is the reason, don't make the same mistake in your new job. So first write down your long-term aspirations and see whether that's aligning, the new job is aligning to your long-term career goals alongside the life stage that you are into. The second thing, which is very, very crucial that we discussed, was it's about looking at the work culture of the organization, and that you can only know when you are getting to know from another person who's working in the company that you want to apply for. How is the work culture? Is that job really challenging you? Will it be able to utilize the new skills and knowledge that you've developed? Are you really building professional network? It's may not be tomorrow the job that you're looking for, but it's a pre-hand requirement. When you work over the years to build this kind of network, then you will get that job, because we all know that these senior posts mostly are filled by referrals. And of course, be very sure of the offer that you're looking at.
So as you're embarking on this exciting phase of your professional life, you need to remember all these 5 points that we just mentioned. Now, with these principles in mind, you will be better equipped to navigate the ever-evolving job market. Make informed decisions. I'll again repeat, informed decisions, and seize the opportunity that lies ahead. Your mid-career transition is not just about changing jobs or jumping. It's about redefining your professional journey and crafting a future that aligns with your aspirations. So take the leap with utmost confidence, and may your next career move be a stepping stone for your future. There's one more thing that I would like to add up. I recently had my 50th birthday last 14th September, and I was asked by someone that, how does it feel to be 50? I said, I'm feeling so empowered. And he asked, why are you feeling empowered? Because most of the people feel that, I'm going to age, it's 50. I said, I'm feeling empowered for one reason, that when I was born 50 years back, I was born as a child without no information, no knowledge, no wisdom, no courage, no network, no resource, no much of money, nothing. Today, at the age of 50, I have all of this with me. I have so many years of work experience. I have wisdom, I have knowledge, I have information, I have people, I have resources, I have money, I have network, I have family, I have everybody. So I feel that now this 50 is going to be 100 times much bigger and better than my previous 50, because I started learning. Now all this in this 50 years that I've learned and developed, I'm going to use that and make the most. So I'm going to fly. My runway is over. Now I'm going to fly for the next 50 years.
And that exactly is what you find written so many different places, that the most important phase of your life where you can maximize your growth, you can exponentially grow, is between 40 to 60. So if you're there, you're at the right place at the right time. It's all about using whatever is going against you, whether it's toxic work culture, whether it is stagnation, whether the industry is going through a tough time. Use this as wind beneath your wings. And like Dheeraj just mentioned, fly high. So that's it from both of us tonight.
Absolutely. So before we end, all those people who work for 20 years, remember, it's a new journey. It's a new start. When you started working 20 years back, you didn't have a lot of things. You didn't have experience. You didn't have knowledge. You didn't have resources. You didn't have connection, nothing. Today, you have a lot with you. With that 20 years, you now need to ensure that you're going to fly. So that's it from our end. Thank you very much, all of us, for coming here, and see you guys again on next Friday on how to ace your career. Bye-bye.